So first off, forget the stat line, okay? But we have been sold this bill of goods dating back to the college days, but certainly all of last year. Heck, we talked about it. I think we talked about it. We might not have, Jason. A few weeks ago, Kathy Engelbert, the league commissioner, put out she did an interview, but it was basically like a press release where she talked about the rookie class, but she basically gave herself credit for the growth of the league. Anyway, I bring it up because we have been sold this bill of goods that Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark are this generation's Magic and Bird. Bird and Magic, Magic and Bird, Caitlin and Angel, Angel and Caitlin. Well, I bring it up because I think we got pretty definitive proof over the last couple days that is not the case, and not even looking at the stat lines. Okay, so this story caught my attention. Indiana Fever, Chicago Sky. Again, they're supposed to be the new age Celtics and Lakers, even though the Sky stink, whatever. But they obviously played on opening day. That was the flagrant foul that launched 1,000 takes. They returned the game this evening in Chicago. And unfortunately, there was no Caitlin Clark. She's out with the injury. But how about this, Jason? By the time the game was played, get-in price was $3 to watch the Indiana Fever minus Caitlin Clark against the Chicago Sky with Angel Reese. I'm sorry. That is proof to me that Angel Reese not only is not the basketball player that we've been told she is, she ain't the box office draw that Caitlin Clark is either, because it was a $3 get-in price in Chicago, and ticket prices plummeted by like 70% within a week of Caitlin Clark's injury. It was down to $3 to get into the arena this evening.
Yes. Angel Reese is not a star. Angel Reese is a foil. Outside of Caitlin Clark, there's nothing there. Like, the only reason that Angel Reese is talked about is juxtaposed with Caitlin Clark. When she's on the other side, there's interest there because there's vitriol there, because there's history there, because there's a storyline there. If it's Angel Reese against anyone else, it doesn't matter. And if it's Angel Reese against Caitlin Clark's team, but Caitlin Clark is not on the floor, it also doesn't matter. This is, and I said this to you a couple of days ago, I said, look, Angel Reese is Dylan Brooks, and Caitlin Clark is Steph Curry or LeBron, whoever it is that Dylan Brooks was trying to irritate at that point in time. You don't care about Dylan Brooks. You only care about Dylan Brooks in juxtaposition with one of those other guys that he's kind of gotten into it with. And that's what it is. Like, you're not paying to see Angel Reese, whether it's 4 points and 12 rebounds or not. You know, sometimes it's more than that. But Angel Reese is the one that came out and said, it's not just her. I'm a star too, and you guys better understand that. No, we'd better not understand that, Angel, because it's not true. And we knew it wasn't true when you said it. And it revealed a lot about you in that moment, because that really bothers you. And it really bothers this league. But I said this last week when I was in for Bernie, Aaron. I said, I'm going to lead off with the WNBA. And I was talking about Clark being out. And I said, I figure a lot of you are kind of stunned that I'm leading off with the WNBA, because you probably didn't realize the WNBA was still an active league. And that's it. Like, you can continue to try and, push this under the rug like it's not a thing, but it is a thing. You don't have a league. You have one player. I'm not saying there's not other talented women. I'm saying none of them matter when it comes to a large swath of the viewing audience, and certainly no casual fans are tuning in to see anything outside of Caitlin Clark. The only reason that that women's basketball was talked about at all last week is because Caitlin Clark was watching the Pacers eliminate the Knicks, and they kept cutting over to her during the game because she was behind the bench cheering them on in the same building, right? So that's your problem if you're the WNBA. You can continue to try to say what you want, and you can continue to try and let this thing continue to build, but without her, there is nothing to talk about. During Game 1 of the NBA Finals, they showed, here's their upcoming television schedule, and they talked about Game 2, of course, but then they said WNBA action on Saturday. and they had a screen with two women on it, one from whichever team it was and one from the other one. I've never laid eyes on either one of these women before. I could not pick them out of a lineup if you showed me the photo and there was only one person standing there. I have no idea who they are. I didn't even know when the two teams showed up. I was just like, I'm not even sure what the mascots of these teams are. I'm not sure what they're called. I know these cities, and that's about it. Like, this has exposed the WNBA for what it is. It is a league with a unicorn in it, where you pay to see the unicorn. You can continue to try and say that the unicorn is not special and that all the regular horses that have been there forever are just as big a draw, but we all know why the circus is sold out. It's sold out to see the unicorn. It's not for everything else. And so I don't think that there's even an argument to be made anymore. All of the commentary and the discourse throughout this season, which has barely even started, and every take that was out there that was so bad and so ill-informed, and then, to the extent of like whatever the hell that Ryan Clark, Robert Griffin III thing was, and all of this other stuff, it's just like, what are we doing here? Cheryl Swoops and all this is just, do you guys not realize that we all have functioning eye sockets and we saw this? Like, we know exactly what was going on. We understand what we are seeing here. Stop telling us that our eyes don't work. We know who the star is here. You can tell us that it's not that way, but we all know exactly what it is.
It's interesting to observe, and listen, I think we all saw it too, where last fall it would have been when Caitlin Clark and the Fever got eliminated from the first, second round of the playoffs, and just no one talked. It is like amazing to me that there is so much interest in her and that there is so little interest in everybody else. And again, I was going to reference the WNBA Finals. It was like the Caitlin Clark's team lost, and it just felt like the season was over. And by the way, and I know you know this, but I think that's how pretty much most of the girls in the league like it is, hey, we got our own league over here. We don't need you fans, blah, 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 whatever. But yeah, it is amazing to me how little interest there is. Again, we referenced that show on ESPN at 10 o'clock Eastern time, and, whatever. I don't have as much of a problem with it as most people. I don't think it's the best sports talk that you can find, but I have noticed a complete lack of interest in even talking about the WNBA since Caitlin Clark's been injured. I want to switch gears. I want to ask you a question about Angel Reese. I was thinking about this. I don't know if I ever remember a player, and maybe it's because she was so overhyped to come in, but it is interesting to me that, like, in maybe like 8 months, 6 months, whatever, basically back end of last year, it was still, she's Caitlin Clark's rival, and she's got this double-double record that no one cared about until they tried to make it a thing. I bring it up because now, every time I go on social media and something Angel Reese is involved, most of it is just missed layups. And, I'm not trying to be a jerk about this, but, one, America is having a reckoning where it's like, we don't have to pretend that Angel Reese is a superstar anymore, and we kind of led the segment with that. I don't know that I ever remember, and maybe there's no example of this because we've never overhyped someone to the degree that we have of Angel Reese, but it feels like she went from like, oh my goodness, she is a superstar, to I feel like she's kind of a laughingstock now. Like, I feel like people actively are, basically people are, as much as you could say they're tuning into Sky games, maybe that's not the right way to put it, but like, it feels like people are going out of their way to just tune in to see like how bad the missed layups are going to be and how many offensive I don't know. I don't know that I've ever seen a person go from, like I said, someone that we're told is a star to basically a complete, I don't want to be mean, but like punching bag, laughing stock, whatever you want to use, quicker than we have with Angel Reese these last couple months.
Well, that's because she continued to try and tell us how special she was when we all had paid attention and knew otherwise. Like what she does, there's talent there, right? Like, I mean, there is talent to be able to rebound the basketball and play that way, to be the Draymond Green type or whatever like that. But like, I will say, if you can't make a layup, you should probably not be one talking very often. Mm-hmm. Like, you can let other people talk about the blue collar stuff that you do, but I mean, man, I don't want to be mean either, but like you're in the WNBA, you really should be able to make, 50% of your layups. And there are way too many clips that are not the same clip of her missing just bunny stuff. Like it's kind of incredible. Like I recall her being a little better at LSU, but that's only because I saw her play like 2 games, both of which were against Caitlin Clark. So maybe this is just what it is. She's just offensively, she is nothing whatsoever. Like she has no business being anywhere near the basketball on the offensive side of the floor. And so you just let her do everything else. But those games where she has like a double-double, I'm still trying to figure out how those even happened. Or like the games where she actually had double-digit points. It's like, how? Like, how does she make a free throw? She can't make a layup.
She's a good offensive rebounder. I'll give her credit.
Yeah, good for her.
When you miss 10 shots and you get all 10 rebounds, you're going to make a couple eventually. That's all I'm saying. That's how you get to 10.
That's right. That's right. But I mean, the larger point, though, is just let's stop. Let's everybody out there that wanted to try and create some kind of a narrative that Caitlin Clark is overhyped and all this, dude. She's the only hype you got. Like outside of that league ceases to exist completely. It just is what it is. Like you eventually just have to be okay with the fact that this is your league. Either you accept that, or you can go ahead and continue to squander it, and eventually you're not going to have a league at all.
Angel Reese, 4 points tonight. The Indiana Fever get the How about this, J. Mart? 79-52 win. Like, come on, man. I'm not trying to poke at the WNBA. 52 points in a professional basketball game. Not good. 4 points on 2 of 7 shooting for Angel Reese. By the way, for people scoring at home, Angel Reese, the Chicago Sky's 4th leading scorer on a team that is third to last in the standings in the WNBA.